So welcome yogis, lovely yin session this morning, and begin seated or lying down, whatever feels right for you today. Have a moment just to ground, send your roots down, and take a lovely deep breath in and a nice sigh on the exhale, and just feel perhaps how your shoulders just drop when you do that. And maybe another one. Inhale. And a nice sigh. Exhale. Feeling good. And this gorgeous book that I always dip in and out of, but I'm drawn to today. I just love to read you some stuff because we know it, but it's a lovely reminder of why we practice yoga and the breath and everything. So, what is prana? I talk about prana quite a lot. It says here, BKS Iyengar says, it is as difficult to explain prana as it is to explain God. Prana is everything. It is everywhere. It is the breath of the universe. It is force, vitality. It is creation. It is destruction. It is life. And so pranayama, our breath work that we do, prana meaning life, energy, vitality, and ayama, which is length, breadth, regulation, prolongation and control. So it's the control of the breath. Pranayama is the practice of regulating the flow of prana throughout the body using the breath. Pranayama is essential. It is life-giving. It is the practice that connects our inner energy with the outer energy. It is the way of controlling the vital force. It is the art and science of discovering the soul. A lovely way of putting that. So, through practice today, let's bring a focus to pranayama. We're often focused on where we're feeling it in the body, and that's just as we should be, is connecting with sensation. But let's also really draw awareness to how the breath moves through our body and whether we're feeling like the breath is sort of unblocking areas that are stagnant, resistant. We can bring that kind of awareness into our practice, just to take this slight different focus, but still incorporating the physical. How do you feel today? And as another little thing that I offer you, are you feeling your feelings or are you thinking your feelings? That's quite an easy thing for us to do, is think our feelings, but to actually feel them can be quite different. What do you want to gain from your practice today? Do you know it, or are you just open to how the practice will unfold? So just take a few more breaths, and then you can join me in a seated position. If you're lying down, just begin to hug your knees in. Have a nice little rock. If you're already seated and you just want to roll the shoulders and gently move a little, please do. We're going to come into Zazen and have some quiet meditation. So today, I think we're just going to simply be aware of breath with the essence of that pranayama. So, coming up to seated, and just get a moment to get comfortable on your meditation cushion or however you want to sit. And I'll pop the timer on for 5 minutes. We'll take 5 minutes. Literally, we're just going to sit and follow the breath and see how long we can stay with that before the mind wanders off and we have to draw ourselves back to that gap between our thoughts. So, hands in Dhyana Mudra, just rest. Close the eyes, just soften the whole face. Nice soft breaths into the belly. And we can just start to begin to focus on the breath in the belly and the movement in our chest and body. And take the first few breaths to take the opportunity to relax even more. And just residing in that gap between thoughts. Awareness of the temperature around your nostrils. And just really enjoying how it feels to be so connected to your breath. Notice if your inhale is longer than your exhale, or vice versa. Noticing any kumbhaka, the retention on the inhale or exhale, that short pause between breaths. Stay following your breath. And just maybe one more conscious breath. And coming back, just blinking yourself back into the room. How did it feel? Was there a different essence to that practice that after we said that we were going to really try and stay focused with the breath? And is it more peaceful as well afterwards? Just something for you to explore. So we're going to come into caterpillar, just a seated forward fold to start with. And if you want something rolled under your knees, like a little soft blanket, then you can. If you're fine without, that's okay. So just meet me in this seated position. Walk out the sit bones. And then we're just going to literally fold forward. See if you can just start to relax the legs as we do this. Notice how much tension you're holding, how long it takes to really try and settle into this pose. Might take a good minute or so to look through everything you can release. Breathing to the belly. Relaxing the shoulders and the head and neck as well. Notice if your ankles are still a little bit tight. And then we can just gently draw our awareness to breath, pranayama, the movement of prana through the body using the breath. Notice if there are any areas that you intuitively know may be a little bit blocked. How are you feeling? Notice your thoughts. If your thoughts are on your breath, is the breath nice and steady? A lovely ebb and flow. Is there a different stillness in your mind when you focus on your breath? Are the areas that were tense, are they easing? Can you send the breath there and almost massage the area? And we'll just take one lovely deep breath. And lifting out. Find your way back onto the mat. Lovely neutral pose. Enjoying how it feels as you move, noticing how your breath changes now. And then just relaxing back. As you relax again, notice how your breath settles into another rhythm. Where do you feel the breath now that we're not folding forward and the chest is more open and the belly is more open? Perhaps there's a sense of tingly or coolness in the front of your body, chest, around your solar plexus. Just having that real honed in sort of observation. How do you feel? Are you feeling good? Good might not describe it. You might feel wonderful, magnificent. So we're bringing our knees now, little gentle hug. We're going to come into swan. So quite a deep stretch through the legs, rolling up. And then we'll come into swan with the right knee forward first. Grab a cushion. I always like to have a cushion handy just for supporting that right buttock and thigh a little bit. Come into this with an open mind. It might not be your favourite, but it might be a really nice pose today. What might be just what you need. So I like to start upright, but choose whether you want to or not. It just gives you this moment to sort of settle, feel what you're feeling. Try not to sort of roll into the pose. Have the hips nice and squarely forward. Nice to stimulate the wrists and arms here as well. Try and relax your back leg through the calf and the thigh. And notice your breath, whether it's nice and easy to breathe into belly and chest. How does it feel to have maybe the head up or lowered? Just explore what you want to feel. And then in your own time, if you want to come onto elbows or all the way down, please choose. You can use a block for your head if you want to. When you come down, just notice how this affects your breath and whether all the muscles in the abdomen tighten. And just see if you can still breathe easily here. Observe that lovely tightness perhaps that you're feeling in the right hip and buttock. Relaxing around your shoulders. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Try and really stay with your breath, every breath. Does it feel easy to breathe, or is there resistance? Can you relax your forearms and wrists, your face and neck? Adjusting your props as you want to. Keep checking in with any tightness in the abdomen as you breathe. Really lovely pose for all of the meridians that run through our legs. Really getting into the stomach channel here as well. Nice relaxed belly breaths. And we're just coming to the end of this pose, so let's just take one more nice breath. And really slowly. Notice how you breathe as you come out. That lovely slow rhythm starts to change as we move. And then just find nice neutral spine, feeling that lovely freedom now through your right leg. Coming out of that compression. Perhaps having a tingling sense through the right leg, coolness. You can feel the prana, the chi, moving through, or feeling more freed up so it can flow. Just start to relax through your back. Notice if you're holding a tension and a structure to the spine. Let the shoulders soften, the chin tuck in, the lumbar spine relax. And even though we've stimulated quite a lot that right leg, notice any other tingling that you might feel through your body, anything through your fingertips and palms. We'll bring the knees in now. Another little gentle hug and a rock. Maybe a nice deep breath here, noticing the depth of your breath. And then coming up. Other side now. So this side, left knee forward, right leg back. Cushions to support, blankets, blocks, whatever you want to use. Sometimes you might want a bolster that you can actually even lie on, so kind of in front of your body if you've got one handy. All these options. And again, you can come straight down onto your elbows if you want to. I always quite like to just sort of ease into the pose and listen to what's going on in the legs, in the back, from this upright pose, and then coming down. Here we can feel quite a nice openness with our breath. The belly doesn't feel restricted. And then just whenever you want to, come down. As your head drops down, try and release all the muscles in your face. Let everything just go floppy. Softening the abdomen. Noticing the tightness or tension through your left leg, thigh. How does this side feel compared with the other side? Does it feel nice? How does it make you feel today? Notice if the shoulders are really lifted and see if you can just relax and drop them. Keep coming back to the abdominal muscles if they're tight. Nice deep breaths. How is the pose starting to feel now? Noticing any other sensations. Staying with your breath. Moving prana around your body. Cleansing areas that aren't flowing so well. Freeing up the movement so that we feel more vital. Notice if that felt like it's gone really quickly. We'll just take 2 more breaths, make them really conscious. And just gently working your way out. That's 5 minutes. Sometimes that can go really quickly, and other times it can feel like an eternity. Just notice, every day will be different. Releasing that left leg, coming down, allowing prana, chi to flow nice and freely now in Shavasana. Where are you finding the coolness and tingly? Kind of almost like an electric feeling flowing through your body. Just relax. Start to soften through the back and spine. Shoulders, notice any tightness you're holding around the waist. Ribs. Just come back into that lovely, easy flow of breath. And just you can feel the belly rise and fall. A lovely even rhythm. And maybe the tingly sensation's gone now. We'll hug in. Take your time with this. Enjoy a lovely little rock on your back. Taking some deep breaths. And coming up for seal. Onto our bellies. I'm going to use a little cushion under the chest, just to support. And coming into this lovely gentle back bend, more so in lumbar. Use a block for the forehead if you want to, or you can just really let the head relax down. And relaxing the legs. As you do, your heels may roll into centre. Start to check in what tension you're holding in the lower back and buttocks to initially support the core. And then gently with lovely deep abdominal breaths, you can start to relax the tightness there. Keep checking in, just noticing if your calves just tense a little. Following your breath. Lovely pose for your root, sacral, solar plexus. Also heart energy if your heart's shining forward. Keep relaxing. Just keep rotating awareness through your body. Check in with your wrists and hands. And just breathing into any tenderness in that lumbar area of the spine. How does this feel in this pose after a few minutes that we've been in it already? Is there a feeling of ease with it, accepting it, surrendering, almost enjoying perhaps the sensations that you're receiving? Sometimes it takes a while in these poses, which is why we take, 3 to 5 minutes to really feel their lovely effects. The first few minutes might feel quite challenging, constant need for release and checking in. And then there's that sweet spot where everything just starts to melt a little bit. And we can enjoy the softening in the pose. Let's just follow our breath for maybe the next 2 or 3 breaths. And when you're ready, nice and gently, just slowly coming into neutral. You might want to just sort of come back into like a brief child's pose if that feels right, just before you come into neutral. Whatever feels right for you, especially if you are a little bit tender in that lower part of the back. It's a pose that we don't use day to day. We're often bending forward or, squatting down, but coming into that shape in the spine is not usual. And relax. With your eyes closed, just being very aware of whatever you're feeling, wherever it is in the body. And just taking this time to soften. We've been in a pose for a while, so just allowing everything to balance back. Stay with the breath. And where does prana seem to be shifting or unblocking or flowing more in this pose, this recovery pose? In your own time, bring your knees in. We're going to come into supported bridge, and then the last pose will just be bench. So grabbing a block or a bolster if you want that sort of softness, and block can either come high on the top height or on that second height down. I'm going to go with the second height today because I've still got a little bit of a pinched nerve in my back. So I'm erring on the more restorative side today. And you choose where you want to be. You might want it up or down, but just making sure that where you place the block is on the sacrum, not encroaching into lumbar vertebrae. So sort of just in line with the top of the buttocks. You'll feel that sort of flat part. And then getting comfortable, just taking a few moments to settle arms wherever you want them, whether they're near to the body. I think if they're slightly further away, they're a bit more relaxed in the upper arm and shoulder area. So relax your buttocks, check in with the inner thighs, around the groin. Notice if you're holding your there's a sense of holding the knees together, just let them hang, go where they naturally want to go. And I often find that the shoulders want to start creeping up to the ears. Lengthen your neck, just drop the shoulders. Keep checking in with that area where we connect to the mat. And then eyes closed, you can just follow lovely deep belly breaths here. Feel that flow of breath up into the chest. Keep loosening any even mildest tension in the legs. Checking in with the back of your body, upper back. If your shoulder blades, the scapula, are just sort of keep creeping up. Is your breath shallow? How does it feel if you like the idea of deepening the breath? Is there a retention after the in-breath and exhale? Just observe the muscles in your face, around your eyes, forehead and cheeks. Check in with the shoulders, upper back. Just notice whatever divine inspiration you're getting through your mind. Thoughts, memories, answers. And then we'll take a lively deep breath. Gently in your own time lifting up. If you're on the taller block, then you might want to come onto the toes, lift the body. Literally just pop that block aside and come back down. Enjoy whatever you're feeling. With seal and this supported bridge, we're getting a lovely kind of shift around this, especially lumbar, lower spine. Perhaps feeling some shift in the pelvis. We don't have to understand what it is, just know that it feels good and feels vibrant. So really relaxing. Is there anything else you can relax here? And then we will hug in. Draw those knees in, gentle rock. And then you're just going to grab your pillow for bench. So another gentle back bend, but targeting really more the thoracic part of the spine than the lower part. So we kind of worked quite a few areas of the back today. So place your cushion just a few inches behind you so that we don't curve the lumbar. We actually get more of the stretch into the upper back area. So when you're ready, we'll just come down. A few minutes here just to relax. If you need to support the back of your neck, a rolled up towel or perhaps a block behind the head if you just need to be a bit more lifted. So I'm going to use a block today. And just enjoy this lovely restful pose. Open the heart, tune into your throat chakra. Eyes closed, you can gaze into Ajna, third eye. And come back to your breath, the movement of your body as you breathe. Notice if the breath is quite nice and relaxed or whether you enjoy really breathing deeply into the belly and chest. You might find as you breathe here that it's quite nice to hold the breath after the inhale. So an internal retention. Maybe just for a couple of seconds and then exhale. You don't have to count, you can literally just feel your way into this. Very calming. Just holding that inhale for just a moment or so. When you're ready, let's just gently lift our head. And then popping cushion and whatever else you've used aside. Take a moment just to feel the body. Perhaps you feel nice and sort of fresh around the chest and ribs. A lovely kind of open feeling. You can tell that prana has been shifting in this upper body. Feeling good. So we'll come into relaxation now. If you want to remain lying down with a blanket pulled over, then that's fine, or seated, whatever you want. Popping on warm bits if you need to. So with the essence of this practice today being on focusing very much on pranayama, just going to read you something which I thought was lovely, and a really visual way of thinking about how our energy moves and flows through practice of asana as well as the breath. So just have a little moment to relax. This is called purification through pranayama. Prana has its own force, its own movement. It can never be completely controlled. All we can hope to do is create the ideal conditions within our body for prana to circulate and permeate its every crevice and shadow. One of the main ways to facilitate this is through cleansing and purification of the body. The less rubbish we have polluting us, the more prana can circulate. Asana work with the body to cleanse and open blockages. Pranayama uses the breath to purify on a deeper level. As the rubbish in our bodies is burnt and cleared away, prana will naturally flow by itself into new clearings, filling us with the potent energy of life. Visualize your body as a flowing network of rivers, each separate, but all feeding into each other. Prana is the life force, the water that feeds these tributaries. If one of the riverbeds is cluttered with debris, driftwood, the water will still remain blocked, creating an uneven flow through the network. Some streams will be full and tumultuous, others mere trickles, and some even dry. The practice of pranayama is like manually removing all obstacles from the pathways, clearing the water of stones and sticks. As this happens, the water begins to flow unimpeded. The process of exfoliation takes place. Each stream smoothly feeds into the next until all flow freely, smoothly, and abundantly through the body. So I'm going to leave you with that kind of vision in your mind of streams of energy through the body, like streams of water that can get blocked and debris. but how pranayama just clears the way and everything flows. Just sit with that for a little while. Very gently, just bring your awareness back. Perhaps though that visualization of rivers of prana and through your body, you have an instinct of maybe where there could be some debris within your body, an area that is troublesome. And perhaps start to kind of visualize that water flowing, and that through breath you can clear sticks and stones and debris, and almost sort of encourage the energy there to be free flowing a lot more. Whether it's a shoulder joint or lower back, whatever it is for you, it's a nice way of visualizing kind of a self-healing. So those of you lying down, just begin to wiggle fingers and toes and gently hug. Have a nice stretch. If you're already seated, it's fine. You can just roll shoulders, gently move. Enjoy some deep breaths. Again, where are you sending that prana? And then you can just join me seated. Take a moment to root down again. Just visualize the roots going back into Mother Earth. They'll be there all day. And then you can bring hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.